Hey everyone, welcome to my channel Rays of Sunshine. Today I'm going to show you how I do my Bantu knot out, which is my go-to style when I'm wearing my hair in its natural state. Now when I'm doing this style, I like to part my hair in thirds, so I'm taking the bottom third and splitting it into two sections. After isolating one section, I'm going to spray the section selected with water, just lightly, then put a little bit of the all-natural anti-shrinkage cream on that section. Because this style can be a little bit stressful on your ends, I make sure I put some moisturizer on there as well. Now for added moisture and to hold the curl, I'm going to use Design Essentials Natural Defining Cream Gel and put that all throughout my section as well. Now if you're transitioning, you're going to want to make sure you get this gel on the ends of your hair as well, because after that line of demarcation, that hair typically does not want to curl as well or look as similar to the curl pattern that you're making within the Bantu knot. So I'm just going to brush this out, then two-strand twist it. Now after finishing this two-strand twist, I'm going to wrap the ends around my pointer finger just to encourage curl formation at the ends after that transitioning part. Now afterwards, I'm going to wrap the hair around itself to create that Bantu knot. Now this is why it's important to moisturize your ends, especially if you're transitioning, because your ends are holding this whole Bantu knot together. Now after completing this section, I'm going to do the exact same process with other sections on my hair. I found that this process works best with my hair and my hair type. Now I know if you have a more oily scalp, you might not need to moisturize your hair as much as I do, or if your hair is more dry, you might want to moisturize lesser. The next section I'm going to do is the front third of my hair. I like doing the front area next because these curls are going to frame my face, and the longer they can set, the better. Next, I'm going to take a middle section and split this into two. Now, of course, I'm going to do the regular process of wetting my hair with water, moisturizing with the Curl Souffle, and putting on the cream gel, then brushing my hair. But instead of two-strand twisting, I'm going to flat twist, which is basically adding in another strand of hair every time you twist down. Now, I like to do this in the front sections because I have a little bit of heat damage there, and it tends to define those curls better. You can also do this all over your hair instead of the two-strand twist, but I find it saves time and the style looks just about as fine if I two-strand twist some sections and flat twist the front section. Now here I'm just grabbing medium-sized sections and two-strand twisting my hair, then wrapping it into a Bantu knot. I'm continuing this two-strand Bantu knot process with the remaining third. Now my hair does get a little bit more dry in these transitioning seasons, especially in the winter, so I'm going to add some olive oil spray just to give that extra agent of moisture. Next I'm putting on my satin bonnet, and that is it for the preparation part of the Bantu knots. This time I kept these Bantu knots in for about 2 days, but you can keep them in for longer or shorter if you'd like. Before I take them out, I'm going to spray them again with olive oil to make sure that my hair has some moisture in it. Next, I'm going to use this anti-frizz serum by Garnier Fructis to make sure my curls stay intact and defined and my hair does not frizz out during the day. Now initially, I'm just taking the Bantu knot itself down. I'm not actually undoing the two-strand twist yet. I just want to get some of this product on my hair first. Now once I'm ready to take down the twist, I like to use about a pump of that serum and split the twist into those two sections I initially twisted it in. Now I like to rake my hand once or twice through those sections. Now at this point, the goal here is not to separate the curls specifically. I'm going to do that in another step where I'm going to separate and fluff the curls. Now when I get to the front part of my hair or anywhere else that I flat twisted, I'm going to separate using the strands or pieces of hair that I twisted with initially. I'm still not separating the hair any further or trying to fluff it out. Now after I shake my hair out, I'm going to use a metal comb pick. Now when I'm using this pick, I like to put it at the base of my curls and gently lift up. Now I'm not trying to disrupt the curl pattern of the Bantu knots, so I'm just really picking it from the roots and not really from the tops of my hair. What I'm doing with the tops of my hair, I'm just holding it to kind of stretch that curl out a little bit while also picking out my roots. Another reason I like this pick as compared to the plastic picks is because this really gets rid of those part marks on my hair where I had those different sections. After picking out my hair to my liking, I tend to separate any curls that haven't been separated on my ends so it doesn't look like one big glob of curl. Now this pick and fluff process can take from 5 to 10 minutes depending on how much volume you want and what look you're going for. Next I'm going to use my favorite edge control, the Eco Styler Gel. Now up until a few months ago, I never really quote-unquote did my edges, so this is just me slicking them down in a very casual way. I use a toothbrush and just follow behind with my finger to encourage my hair to lay down. Next, I follow up with a hard bristle brush to disperse that product and also make sure my edges are laying down. Now I'm just using some more Eco Styler Gel, a toothbrush, then a hard bristle brush all across my edges in the front of my head. Now, although I do like this product, I have found that it can cause buildup around my edges if I'm going to use it every day, so I would say look out for that. Alright, so I've picked out my hair and I fluffed it out, also done my edges, as you can see. Now, if I would have time, I would usually lay them down with a scarf, tie a satin scarf around my head and just make sure that they're laying down. But I have to go to class, so this is going to do for now. We can check back in a few hours to see how this has, adjusted, because the curls are pretty tight since I just took them out. But this is also a wearable style, so if you really like tight Bantu knots or a tight curl, then you can leave these in for another day and just wear them fresh like this. So after I went to class, my curls did loosen up a bit, and this is typically how I wear my Bantu knot out. And that's all for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. See you next week.